time now.
Poor boy. I'm gonna make sure we're good, and then we'll start.
Ju-
We're alive, my friend.
Can you hear me? Does it sound magical? Can you hear the magic in my voice?
Yeah, I can hear you, and I can hear me.
Do I sound loud enough? Do I sound good? Do I sound sexy?
Yeah, I can hear you, and I can hear me. Yeah, we're good, man. We're both loud enough. I'm gonna share it.
Welcome to the Corona Chronicles live via the internet. I'm joined here by Thomas Varga Love Flair.
And Jordan P. Gold, the Juice Man. Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Damn, man. It's been what, 6, 7 days since we've done this, something like that. It hasn't been that long.
It's been 6 days, but you know we're
Who's
keeping
counting?
it real in this Corona time. We're doing a candlelit vigil right now for all the
This is pretty
past
dope.
old fat people and all the first responders that tried to take care of these old fat people. It's a damn shame.
Beautiful. Yeah, man.
But
That's
two
crazy. I like that.
two young, strong, and healthy fellas like us, we're doing just fine.
Honestly, man, I'm glad you brought that up because I feel like shit right now.
You feel like shit? You have Corona?
No, I'm like pukey, nauseous.
Mm. I took a couple real gnarly shits today. I haven't felt well either. It must just be in the clean air.
The clean air that we have these days.
I'm not used to all this non-toxicity.
Ah, what a good song. Toxicity.
Yeah, that was one of the songs we covered in that park during our chili cook-off jam.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's sick. Good times. Good times.
See you,
Um,
Austin Bucks.
can't regret any of those times, but I do. Some of it.
So what's up, man? What's on your mind? Penny for your thoughts.
Oh my God. So today, I'll just talk about today, man, and then you can tell me about your day.
Do it.
Straight up had a weird morning. Um, worked out, ate a bunch of crappy food, which is not normal for me these days.
Dude, I think it's just been that kind of week.
Yeah, man. And I took one shot of tequila. I don't just drink. If I drink, I drink. Or if I don't drink, I just don't drink. That's it. I never just have one. And that's
Yeah,
why I don't like to drink because, like, it's garbage.
yeah, I feel you. I'm kind of the same way. I'm checking out the stream again. Continue.
You're good, brother. You gonna have some Buffalo Trace? The Buffalo Trace!
No, I'm not drinking right now. I'm actually gonna study some more. I have finals coming up for school, so I'm trying to keep it on the straight and narrow.
Are you ready?
Yeah, for the most part.
Hmm. What's the finals on? What are your topics of discussions for testing?
Uh, so I have. Oh shit, my YouTube didn't turn off. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. All right, so I have chemistry, and then I have a final for my chemistry lab, which is interesting because I haven't been able to attend my chemistry lab for the duration of the pandemic,
Which has
which is
been a while now.
yeah. I bought a lab coat, I bought a lab manual, I bought goggles, and I got to use them 3 times. And they're like, oh, we'll send you data, and then you can recreate the experiments using your imagination, and then do all these stupid labs. And then I found out we have a final for the lab. But then, so then after I have those 2 finals for chemistry, then I have my physics final. But my lab for that just got canceled, and my TA was like, "Hey, you're getting an A. I'm just gonna give you an A, and you don't have to do anything else." I was like, "Thanks, bro. You're really dope." Cause
That's pretty dope, dude.
well, he could tell that I was like 10 years older than everybody else in the lab, and I was a no nonsense kind of guy, and I would talk to him about, I would ask, because he was really fucking smart, dude. He was like Rain Man on the whiteboard with, well, you could do some differential calculus to explain this physical phenomenon and blah blah blah. And well, you see, I was like, God damn, dude, you like this a lot.
Phenomena.
Yeah, but then after that, I have calculus 2, which is stupid, but
Yeah,
it's
that
important.
sounds miserable.
Well, it's really cool to understand like where high level like integrals and differential calculus come into play into technology, but a lot of times it's just solving. Well, calculus 2 is all solving abstract mathematical equations, and then calculus 3 we'll get to actually do things that implement it into I guess like real world situations is what I'm told. I don't know. I've taken it next semester, and then I have my electronic fundamentals, which is not that bad.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, the first month of the class was, this is Ohm's law. This is a series
Oh
circuit.
my God.
This is a parallel circuit. And I was like, man, I've been doing this professionally for 10 years. And none of my training, like previous Navy training, my trade school I graduated from before I joined the Navy, like none of that counted for college credit, even though it was the same exact like course and material. I still had to do it all over again. Doesn't matter. I'm a fucking scrub.
It's kind of funny, man. You waste. It's like, fuck, dude. I did this shit. I had to. You have to use Ohm's law sometimes. Like legit. Like that shit's so easy.
Well, well, you don't not even to calculate, but just to understand. Like,
Just to
dude,
understand what's going on. Yeah.
like understand what if you like. When I was at working at Tesla, like sometimes we'd be troubleshooting something, and somebody would take like a voltmeter and measure something, be like, oh, I'm getting 0 volts across this fuse. I'm like, yeah, that means it's working.
That means it's working. You fucking
Yeah,
idiot.
that means there's zero difference in potential. Uh,
So it's not blown. You fucking scrub.
or people trying to take, they would like go to take resistance readings on energized equipment. I'm like, that don't do
Don't
that.
do that. You'll blow
Stop
that
it.
fluke.
Yeah, you could blow up the fluke or the voltmeter, or you could damage the if it's like low voltage equipment that's very sensitive, like transistors and shit. Like whenever you're taking resistance, it like adds current to the system. So you
It
could
introduces current. Yeah.
yeah, you could ruin shit. But what do I
I
know?
did real electrician shit today. Actually, that's pretty funny. I fixed the stove.
You in your house?
Huh?
In your house or on the ship?
Nah, somebody's house. There was just a button that was broken, and she was like, "Hey, this button's broken." I was like, "I'm an electrician, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's probably this board. It's just one of those fucking touchscreens, bro." And she was like, "The button doesn't work." I'm like, "It's a fucking board with fucking like little digit buttons, like the little
Yeah, yeah.
like it's a piece. It's $100 piece you're gonna have to buy." Well, it turns out the only thing that was broken was the plastic arm that taps the button. So I looked in and I was like, "Oh, all this work." And then we just super glued the button to make it work, and I felt so accomplished. Yeah,
Like, yeah, fixed it, man. And that's
I
how it
love
was
fixing shit, dude.
when I first started working at Tesla. It was like, here's all this robotic equipment that some Germans built. There's no technical documentation for it. Uh, go make parts. So it's yeah, just had to figure it out. It was kind of I was like shell shocked at first because I was like a beaten dog. Coming from the Navy nuclear community, it's like you have to brief everything, you have to have documentation, you have to have tag outs, and there's all this crazy like red tape administration shit you have to deal with. And then when I started there, like, yeah, if you break something, you break something. Who cares? How else are we gonna figure out how
If you
it
get
works?
shocked, you get shocked. Fuck it.
Oh, well, no, they took that kind of stuff very seriously, but when it came to operating the equipment and like pushing buttons and shit, they're just like, yeah, do it. Just
No
be safe.
shit.
Follow all the safety guidelines.
And then now you don't work for Tesla anymore.
Yeah, and then I got fired. So there you go.
Today I Actually, just before we got on the podcast, one thing I wanted to talk about.
What's up?
That caught my eye a lot. Um, I was taking a bath and I lit a candle. This candle, in fact,
Ooh.
amazing. And that burned really bad. Fuck me. And
Yeah, I
I
just
was
smelled
listening to
fire.
November Rain.
I
What's
love that
that?
song. November Rain.
Yeah, I listened to the whole live version with Elton John in like
Ooh.
'92. Amazing performance. By the way, that's the year I was born, dude. That blows my mind.
Wow.
It
Dude,
was fucking relaxing.
it's so crazy how YouTube, all the time, I'll just be sitting around and I'll listen to like this obscure band, Wishbone Ash, 1971, just live in the studio, just playing some 70s rock and roll on drugs. And there's music was different back then, but it's all this shit that my parents used to listen to, and it's all out there. Live performances of these amazing musicians. The other day, I was watching Elvin Bishop live play that song "You Fooled Around and Fell in Love," and
Yeah.
it's just an amazing live performance. Like everybody is 100% on point. Whoever is recording it is doing an amazing job. It's just a fantastic musical performance, and that kind of shit is all over YouTube. And my dad loves that kind of shit. He has a bunch of old VHS tapes of Stevie Ray Vaughan and the Allman Brothers, shit like that. But he has no idea all this stuff that's for free on YouTube, you know? He refuses to
Some
use.
people don't. Some
n-
people don't, man, and it's crazy to me. I watch so much YouTube all the time. I'm always trying to learn something from YouTube every day.
Dude, uh, all the time when I would have a day off, like one day off from the boat back in Guam, I would spend my day off just getting drunk and watching physics lectures, like old Richard Feynman lectures on YouTube that were like 3 hours long. Like, oh man, this
Oh
is
my
amazing. They're
God.
just for free. People had to go to grad school and like pay insane amount of money to attend these lectures, and I just get to sit on my couch and drink beer and listen to them for free.
Yup. I learned how to, what was it? What the fuck did I do with my car? I did something ridiculous with my car from YouTube, whatever. And like I drove that motherfucker, thousands more miles on something that I trusted from YouTube. It's just like, eh, YouTube's a fucking, it's also a fucking black hole, man.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
it
You'll
is.
sit there for 3 hours not knowing how the fuck you got to the history of Germany and you started watching how to make a pie.
Or animals eating each other.
Dude, that's always creep. What the creepiest thing is when bugs fuck or some shit like that. Because you're like, oh, that looks like me when I fuck.
Ugh. Let me bite your head off now while I
Ugh.
came. Ugh.
Uh. Oh, you want to see my new tattoo, homie?
Oh yeah, I saw that you had something on your arm. I didn't know if it was just you doodling or some shit. Oh, you got a tattoo on your finger?
Question mark.
That's funny. I thought you had
Yeah,
a
dude.
on
Oh,
your.
that was a touch up.
Oh, okay. I was saying it looked dark.
Yes, it's just a touch up. I have a friend who does tattoos, and he really cool, man. He pulled out brand new needles. He pulled out brand new ink. He put gloves on. He washed his hands, like all the stuff you're supposed to do. But
Well, I'm
I was
glad he didn't
expecting to
use.
get AIDS.
I didn't glad he didn't use used needles to tattoo you.
Yeah. Well, I was expecting like, okay, he's gonna tattoo me. I'm gonna get AIDS. I went there. He had a whole partition. He had a table.
Oh,
He
cool.
sanitized the table. It was sick.
Hey man, I was actually talking to my tattoo guy today. He lives in San Diego. But I was asking him
Oh,
how.
you go all the way out there for tattoos?
Oh, this dude is the fucking amazing, the most amazing tattoo artist I've ever met. He's so fucking good. He's the guy that did my sleeve.
Really?
Yeah, but you know, I got 36 hours of tattooing done from him. We're buds. We talk on our phone sometime. Send each other dick pics. No, not really. But
I was gonna say,
I was
show me.
it was just one of those. During this pandemic, I'll just randomly reach out to people, ask them, "Hey, how you doing? How getting by? You know, unburden yourself to me."
Hmm.
And he just tells me, I have. he's a big he's a what's it fucking called? Masonic what's the
A
Masonic
Mason.
Freemason. There we go.
Yeah,
But he
Freemason.
but he already was like a senior officer. He was already like the lodge master. He was a lodge master, but now he's just like a senior officer. He's like, oh, I've been a part of it my whole life. I've done all the jobs. Now I just get to hang out and just be like a wise sage and give advice and wisdom to like the younger members. And he's a no nonsense not a guy kind of guy. So this whole economy still being locked down and people are saying, stay home or that dumb. Oh, dude, that Congresswoman AOC. So when she first got elected, I was like, oh, it's nice to see like a young lady who's impassioned and full of uh, just moxie, I guess you could say, to do
Moxie. It's a good word, bro. Yeah.
to make a change and like really get in the government and stir things up. And now this bitch literally was on TV saying we should be protesting to stay at home.
Why?
Like, no, you don't. Come on, lady. Let's calm down. So the problem is, I think she's trying to combat Trump with his own tactics, which is just be fucking ridiculous and dismissive. But hey,
That's what they all do, though.
brass tacks, baby. We gotta get this economy going again. We have to get people back to work. Hey, if your immune system is compromised or you're afraid of this disease, stay home, and we as a community will band together and help support you. But we can't just stop everything while China's chugging away. They're gonna buy up the world if we just let our country go bankrupt and let all these businesses fail. But I think it's a power grab by the globalists, man.
You think so? Like, I was gonna ask you because I see some stuff you post on Facebook, and you have an opinion for sure. I don't. I'm not gonna call you crazy. I'm not gonna call you an asshole. You just have an opinion,
Yeah, you're right.
and I appreciate the fact that you're not afraid to show your opinion. And it sounds like you do your research, which is sick. The only thing I do my research on is the numbers for COVID. I look about once a week because I'm thinking about me personally. It's affecting me. That's one thing I want to talk about is depression, but it's affecting me tremendously in my day to day. Like I'm still doing the same shit, but I'm so fucking sick and fucking tired of having to stand certain spots in line, like little shit that first world problems doesn't matter,
Yeah.
but I'm getting sick and tired of it, dude.
Oh, dude, I felt that today because this morning, and this really is all first world problems. Don't get me wrong, but just
Yeah, well, that's a disclaimer.
yeah. But this morning I woke up and first thing in the morning, my routine is usually I go make some coffee, I sit down on my computer and I start going over some of my notes for school or, um, like maybe watching some video. Like all my textbooks are online and interactive now, where they have little videos in them you can watch, like other
Sick.
professors give the same lecture and shit. So I was doing that, then I went to go start doing some of my homework, but I solved like half of one problem, and it just like plugging in some differential equation shit. Like it's like stuff that's not hard. But all of a sudden, I just sat back in my chair and I just started like I just felt like this giant cloud of just like depression and just everything I've been feeling lately just like crashed down on my fucking head, dude. And then because all of a sudden I started worrying about like, well, fuck, I lost my job last week because of this whole thing. And then, like, as soon as the semester is over, I don't get paid money from the VA anymore to be a student. So now I'm like trying to find a job. And, I have fucking skills. I have a good resume. And I've been sitting out some of my resumes here and there trying to get a hold of like some tech companies out here to get in, even like just an entry level position just to make some money. And dude, like nobody's fucking hiring. Like
Yeah.
nobody's responding back. Like I can't get a definite answer out of anything. So then it's like, well, fuck. How am I gonna make money now if everybody's on COVID pandemic freak out and they're shutting down everything and all these companies are afraid to hire people. And I look back as the same reason why in 2008 I left Phoenix. I was 19 years old. I just graduated from this music school, and then the housing market crashed. I remember I went to interview for this job, and there was literally like 50 or 70 people interviewing for the same job, and it was just to set up microphones for like corporate meetings and projector screens and do corporate AV shit. But there was 50 other people interviewing for it. And here I am, 19, and my only work experience is working as a valet or as a farmer. You know, so I've experienced this sort of economic downturn before, but at least I could still like go out and be in public and party with my friends or go to a bar or something. You know, but all that shit it just shut down, and then in the beginning, I would feel like a social pariah almost if I would go out and try to like when things weren't shut down, but like the fear was starting to mount, and you would go to bars and it'd be almost empty. And you'd talk to people, they're like, "Are we doing something wrong right now? Like, is this bad?" Because I don't feel like we should be so freaked out about this pandemic, especially because in the beginning the numbers were so vague, and you know, Germany doesn't even use the numbers from China in like their news reports and shit. They're like, yeah, they're fake, they're manufactured. Like, we can't trust anything they say or do. But it's
If you
because
want
they're
to look up the numbers and talk about them real fast, because I didn't look that shit up today, and that was one of my intentions.
yeah.
If you could
Actually,
bear with me.
I have a little Facebook group with a bunch of dudes that trade cryptocurrency, and one of them sent me a link to this Google Doc that somebody updates every day with like like the top like earning stocks like the Nasdaq, the Dow, like, and then like gold prices, silver prices, platinum prices, then like the top cryptocurrencies, and then they added a thing like COVID-19, like the top 10 countries, like how many people have been confirmed cases, how many people have died, how many people have recovered, and dude, there's so many different places to get data from, and then a study was done in Southern California that they think that several 100,000 people have already contracted and like gotten over the COVID-19 because it affects people so differently. And now other people are saying, "Oh, this virus is mutating in different sections of the world in different ways," and that's why in Italy it was especially bad versus United States. It's just there's just so much information, and that's goes back to your point about me ranting on Facebook, which I don't do anymore. Like 2 weeks ago, I officially decided I no longer use Facebook because sometimes I would get angry. I'd just be like, "Oh man, everybody's over here arguing about Bill Gates when the president right now is like deregulating the environment and drilling holes everywhere and fracking everywhere, and he just at the beginning of the pandemic he bought a shit ton of oil because it was cheap. Like, oh, we filled up the oil tanks, everybody. Like, dude, why don't we spend these billions of dollars on sustainable energy instead of, you know, sprinting towards runaway greenhouse gases, which are gonna like devastate life on Earth? And like, why aren't we focused more on curbing pollution and sustainable energy? But no, we got to worry about Bill Gates trying to vaccinate indigenous people. You know, it's so fucking stupid. Or this fucking 5G gives you radiation poisoning. Like, well, first off, you're stupid. uh, you're not allowed to talk about EMF anymore if you think that, anything between 30 gigahertz and 300 gigahertz is going to give you radiation sickness, you fucking moron. But I guess I get to stand on a high pedestal because, I have training in radiation theory, I guess. But it is aggravating, man. People are fighting over all this bullshit and all these numbers and everything. Like, open your eyes and look outside. See what's happening in your community. See what's happening with your state government, with your federal government. Like, actual regulations that are being passed or repealed, actual laws that are being thrown into these fucking emergency packages for surveillance and shit like that. Like, everybody's, oh, I'm figuring out some sort of globalist uh, um, Illuminati secret that nobody knows about but me and like 10 people online,
It's
man. That's bold, dude. Live
Yeah,
in
people.
fucking reality, man.
Yeah, live in reality, live in the present, figure out how the fuck to make money right now, and take care of yourself and take care of your friends because we are all we got at this point, dude.
Yeah, man. And I don't understand how
Dude,
worrying about some billionaire and or any sort of globalist Illuminati agenda. Well, dude, the problem is you keep voting all these corrupt motherfuckers that can be bought and paid for into our government. That's why the military industrial complex has such power over policy. It was because, dude, Donald Trump appointed Mark Esper to the defense secretary. Yes, he was an Army officer veteran, but after he got out of the Army, he was a lobbyist for Raytheon for 7 years. And now dude, he went from a military contracting company to being the Department of Defense. Like, that has to be a conflict of interest. It's like when Dick Cheney bombed the fuck out of the Middle East and then gave all these construction contracts to Halliburton, which he was like had a big stake in the company. Like, clear conflict of interest. And that's real provable shit that's happening right now. It's bananas. It is fucking bananas.
I was just talking to my sister, and she lost her job. Obviously, she's working at like Harris Teeter. She's downsizing, saving money and shit. She's not. She's just bored and like freaking out. And I'm like, well, damn, I don't have it all that bad. And I'll sit there like a lump all day in my fucking bed, like this
Dude,
is stupid.
think of how many people that have been grinding for their whole life that have never had just time where you have to sit at home and you have to be alone with your thoughts, you know,
Being
during the
alone with
day.
your thoughts is one of the most. Oh, you're gonna get me started. Being alone with your thoughts can make you, but more than make you, it can fucking destroy you. It will fucking ruin you. 110%.
Yeah, man, that's where. Um, so I have this. My concept of meditation is whenever I am alone with my thoughts or I'm, eyes closed, taking deep breaths and just pondering life and its complexities. Especially if I smoke weed, because it's a strong sativa will make you paranoid as fuck, But
Yeah.
I feel like fighting that paranoia, and anytime I get like this negative idea, this monster, this like gnawing at my fucking psyche, like combating that and be like, no, that's negative as fuck. Why would I even think that way? I can't give time or energy to things that are not making me a better person. So like whenever I meditate, I practice this warding off these negative thoughts, that are just gonna eventually make me spiral down. Someday, dude, this morning was a hard day for me when it came to like, okay, get some gumption going, man. I finally like, after a couple hours of just like being in my fucking head, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go lift some weights. I'm gonna go work out. I did like a million sit-ups. I just have to do something to distract yourself.
It's called mindfulness. It's not distracting yourself from your reality. It's facing your reality in a different light. It's taking it and it's like, okay, I don't have control over the 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 thought because it's there. I have control over how I feel about the thought.
Word.
The one something I do straight up is I'll get a shitty thought and I've realized um, the Navy put me on hold for anxiety, and I was like, whatever, this is stupid. And then I talked to these people, and I was like thinking, I took myself out of my own situation, and I got to look at myself from a different perspective, and I was like, oh shit, every nuke is fucked up in some way. Every person is fucked up in some way. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
People deal with it differently.
Yeah, but dude, the nuclear community is still the Navy nuclear community is still this amazing uh, environment of just fucking crazy people, man. Crazy interesting
Oh, it's
people.
hubris. It's dude. It's fucking hubris. It's fucking obnoxious.
It's so interesting. Just you know, back living at the Navy Nuclear Power Training Command and Goose Creek. I just like walking through buildings, like down the spine and shit, just seeing people. You see like a random guy juggling and riding a unicycle, or somebody that's full on dressed like a fucking pirate with big swashbuckles and a triangle fucking hat, or somebody that's has a fucking goth stuff on, is like hugging trees and hissing at people that walk by. I'm like, how the fuck did you get in? You had to like first you had to get a high score on your ASVAB, then you had to pass the Navy Advanced Placement exam, then you had to make it through boot camp, and like now you're here, dressing like a fucking vampire, hissing at people. and you're supposed to go out to fleet 2 years from now and operate a nuclear reactor, a floating
Operate a
nuclear
fucking power
reactor.
plant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like who are these people and where do they find them? You know, how do and and sometimes like this guy he had like a 3.8 GPA. He was really smart, but he just broke. Like one day he just broke. He's like, I can't take it. I have too much anxiety, and this was in A school, you know. And he just one day he's just like, I quit. I'm not struggling in class. It's just the hours and working with people. You know, that was 100% the reason why.
No joke.
But somehow I just found a way to grin and bear it. I just did my time. I never forget my exit interview with my last CO when I was leaving. He was like, well, how do you feel like your time here went? I was like, honestly, sir, I said I smiled, I said yes, and I just did what I was told, and now it's over, and I'm so fucking glad it's over. And and he, I don't know if I told you like my last year on my boat, like half of my chain of command got fired. Like we had
Mm-hmm.
I had like 5 different cobs. Like things were just fucking going crazy. We had the surge line repair we had to go to. We had to like transit Guam to San Diego for, and then go in the shipyard, you know, for 9 months. And dude, just all this shit and just like all these unheard of things just kept happening over and over and again. And then at the end of it, I just remember this amazing weight just being lifted off my shoulders. Like no longer do I have to just agree with fucking people that I hate, that have earned zero respect from me and have done nothing to like make me want to like respect them, you know. And but you know, I was a good sailor. I did what I was told. You know, I was a leader. I did shit. But I never forget the look on my captain's face. He's like, "Man, you sound like you were in jail. You sound like you're in prison for the last 4 years of your life." I'm like, no, it was worse
Uh,
than prison. I didn't get to have internet or TV.
it's true though. It's dude. It's obnoxious. I dislike 95% when I'm actually doing my job. I dislike 95% of every day, and it's like the 5% that I like is the guys, the dudes, man,
Well,
or
that's
the whatever, the girls too. I like working. I like the people.
shipmates, man. The people that are on the deck plate with you, that's what made it enjoyable. Like the fucking shenanigans or oh, there's this dude. Uh, he had a smiley face tattooed on the head of his penis, and he would stand all the time at the non-vertical ladder in the engine room and just have his dick out. So you know you turn the corner by the high packing and say up. You look up you say up
Oh, in the
ladder.
middle level, yeah,
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, there's just a dick just smiling
it's
at me.
smiling at me.
And then you look up, and then there's this guy who looks exactly like Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec, just smiling at you with his dick smushed in his
Was it a
hand.
good dick?
And it was an all right dick. It was pretty. It was a pretty nice dick.
It was great. I remember rod testing. I was
Yeah,
stuck there as Irpy, like just a gauge, basically gauge watch. You just sit there, look at Irpy
dude.
4 hours. And I remember I was like, you're supposed to call certain tests or whatever, and it was the Irpy watch's responsibility.
Yeah,
I was like sitting on a motor generator that's running, which is warm,
yeah,
and I'm like, how am I supposed to stay awake for 6 hours?
yeah,
And then the one time I just like, shit went down, and I said something and called an action, and they were like, "Good job, Varga," and I was like, I saw something say a number, and I said something. That's all I did. That's all I did all day, and
yeah.
you're gonna tell me good job? Like I was so frustrated, and they were getting pissed off because I was bantering just to stay awake. I was like, "You guys, I'm gonna fall the fuck asleep, and then you're gonna fuck me. You're gonna fuck me in the face, the
Oh yeah.
butthole, and the penis."
Oh dude. When I was a nub, I used to have to sleep in the torpedo room, and
Nice.
torpedo men and other fucking coners that did nothing but play video games and watch TV underway because they're fucking coners. They're useless, you know. Shout
There's
out
some
to all
hatred.
my Conan bros out there. But anyways, I would be working in the galley all day, and then for like 12 hours, and then I would go in the engine room and I would work on my quals for like another 4 hours, and then I would sleep 2 hours and then do that all over again, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like, oh, I got to get my fish, I got to get qualified, I don't want to be a burden on everybody. But these motherfuckers would sit right at the foot of my rack and play their Game Boy and just bullshit and yell. And one day, I got on my rack, I was like, hey, can you guys please just be quiet? Like, I only get to sleep 2 hours, then I got to go back to work. Please, can you like keep it down? And one guy looks at me, he's like, shut up, you faggot nuke. And I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm not gonna get to sleep unless I fight all six of these guys right now. Then I get in trouble for a nub like fighting a bunch of qualified fucking retard coners, you know. So I remember like a week after that, I'm standing in the engine room. I'm like right in middle level, right in front of like the rod control cabinets, ERP and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, I just like come to, and like the MDiv chief like caught me. He's like, I literally watched you fall asleep, and you were 1 inch away from just smashing your face into like this cabinet. Like, why don't you sleep? I'm like, well, that's the damnedest thing. Like, you work here too. What do you mean? Why don't I sleep? I'm a fucking non-qualified nub, and I'm cranking, and I'm back here trying to get my quals done, and I'm literally falling asleep standing up while I'm in the middle of like studying a tech manual, and that's just how life was.
Um, there was a day on the Enterprise when I was not qualified, everything and whatever. Um, I had 6 hour, your four section duty, and I was 6 and 6s,
No, I don't
so
know what
six
four
on,
section
six off,
duty's
six
like.
on
Never had that.
for
3 section
24
all the
hours.
time, baby.
Yeah, baby. And I remember I stood my watch. I did maintenance or something or whatever, and then I stood another watch, and then I didn't go to sleep because something. I think something caught on fires. It was something stupid that kept me awake. And then the next day was Valentine's Day, and our LCPO said, "Hey, there was flukes missing." He said, "We're gonna call NCIS. Whoever has these flukes, bring them back. You're all staying here till all these flukes come back." We
Wow.
stayed there till 8 at night, and my LPO was like, I was like delirious. I was so tired. I was like, I can't do this, man. I can't. We would field day the plant once every 2 hours and muster, um, looking for the fluke, and they were like, "All right, everybody go," and I would just go in switch gear and sit down and just fall asleep. Somebody caught me. They were like, "Get up." I was like, "Okay." I'm like delirious, dude. He's like, "Actually, never mind. Just sit down." They just let me sleep. It was like the worst day, dude. It was the worst.
Yeah, I have so many fucking times where shit like that happened.
Well, the La Jolla was the
uh,
worst because I got there. I was a receiver turnee. Like they treated me like shit because I was a surface guy. They treated me like shit because I'm stupid. They treated me like
uh,
shit because I'm my personality sucks. When I'm new and I don't know you, I just make jokes. And they were like,
you
"It's
try to
not a
be
game.
fun.
Get qualified."
Yeah,
You know.
especially, dude. The whole and I'm guilty of this too. Like having like your submarine warfare pins, and then whenever you do anything that involves like the surface fleet, and anytime somebody makes like when I went to ETMS, there were two of us in the class that had our fish, and then everybody was surface warfare. But then there's one person that all the time when we be doing projects, I'm like, hey, they give us a project, let's start it, let's finish it, and then we get to leave. As soon as we're done, we get to leave.
Yeah.
And then an hour into it, the surface fleet fucker would be like, I need to eat, I'm hungry, I'm getting cranky because I'm hungry. I'm like, how the fuck do you ever get work done? Like, dude, I've literally done rod testing for 12 hours without stopping. Like no food break, no piss break. You just
That hurts my
fucking
soul because we did. I remember we did 2 hours on, 2 hours off for Irpy because it was that miserable. So 6 hours was wrong. I just remember 2 hours on, 2 hours off with one of my buddies, Murdy. Me and him swapped off.
mm, dude. Let's get away. Let's get away from this subject. Let's give me
I'm down
flashbacks.
with it.
I'm gonna fucking put a gun in my mouth.
What are you gonna do? Suck on it for all the people at home?
I'm gonna suck on it and cry and masturbate.
I'd be down. So pretty much the only thing else I wanted to talk about was music. I had another little tidbit I wanted to tell you.
I've been doing some drum covers. You said you're getting some
I'm
studio
actually
time, right?
May 8th. I'm going in the studio and I'm gonna all weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm gonna do 8 songs,
Hell yeah.
and 3 are gonna be heavy metal. There's gonna be 2 that are current top 40. There's gonna be, and I think 3 that are like soft and like something that has meaning to me.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, once you get them done, I'll throw them up on like my Twitter and shit. Get them out there.
That's pretty dope. One of them I'm gonna do like pictures and stuff and like stylish. I gotta get a GoPro and mount it up here and then my camera.
Oh
I gotta
yeah.
get better at camera stuff, dude.
Yeah,
It's hard.
video editing is one thing that I've done a little bit in the past, but I have I haven't done shit, you know, recently. But I feel like if I'm gonna get more into this making online content and shit like that, I'm going to have to get my feet in the water. But I've been
Well, you're
figuring
an
out.
interesting person, so I don't understand why you don't just put more content out. You could just literally like, I don't know, post ideas and shit.
Well, you're right. When you're right, you're right. But generally, I deal with me thinking that nobody gives a shit what I have to say, and why would I waste my time? I'm trying to get over that negative. That's one of those negative hills I'm trying to get over.
It's kind of crazy, man. Um, it's not that people don't care. It's that your product isn't or your product's not polished and you don't have the fan base. Like
Yeah, you're right,
this is not this is a cutthroat world, man. This podcasting stuff, everybody does it. It's a cutthroat world.
dude. I know these podcasters like Tim Pool. He puts out 3 hours of content every single day.
Mm,
That's insane. Like he records and
That's hard.
edits 3 hours of content every single day.
That's hard like my penis.
Ew.
I don't know, man.
But once my cryptocurrency investments make me independently wealthy, I'll be able to you know build a podcast studio and get legit equipment, and everything will be right as rain.
I don't know how to invest in cryptocurrency. I've been trying to do it, but
You go to Coinbase.com, you make an account, and then you buy cryptocurrency.
do you have Bitcoin?
I have very little Bitcoin now. Most of the cryptocurrency I'm invested in is called XRP. It's a banking transaction software. Um, it's still, who knows if it's going to take off, but they're the company, in my opinion, that has done the most to infiltrate the global financial systems when it comes to like currency exchange and banking transactions and shit like that.
Hmm.
But who knows? There's so many. The hard thing is like finding a cryptocurrency because Bitcoin doesn't have a commodity associated with it. It's just a digital currency. And around May 12th, it's supposed to halve, which is going to be an interesting time to see how it responds to that. Because right now, I'm like, should I invest a little bit more before it halves, or should I invest like right after it halves? It's hard to tell the market. All these analysts say they predict like this or that, but dude, it's unpredictable. It just you get lucky or don't. I'll probably not make any money from it, but you gotta risk it to get the biscuit.
I'm invested in like Starbucks, ADT, at this company called Abbott. And I want to tell you a little bit about Abbott. Abbott apparently is a company that's developing COVID testing equipment.
Ooh.
So, you can look it up online what they're about. And I just threw some money in there. I've only made like $100 on the stock market, but it's crazy to me because I only invested like $1,100 in the stock market.
I made hella returns on my Tesla stocks, like 300% right now.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But what sucks is, uh, I was given a shit ton of stocks for my performance at the company, but not all of them had like the vast majority of them were vesting over like a 4 year period, and I got them all at about like my 1 year 6 month period. And when I got
right?
fired, I lost all my stocks that hadn't vested yet, and their current worth is about $200,000.
Your current worth would be.
Yeah, I'm saying the worth of the stocks that I lost is about $200,000 right now.
That's obnoxious.
Yeah, well, the fucked up thing is like I knew that was gonna happen. That's the reason why I worked for the company was because I knew they were gonna take off. You know, like 3 years ago, whenever they were still building the Gigafactory and they weren't producing any car parts. They were just making like power packs and like solar power shit. And I was
Yes.
reading all about it because I was fresh out of the Navy looking for a job. And I was like, this is where I'm gonna work because they're offering hella stock options and like not that much like starting pay. But I'm enamored with Elon Musk and this like what he's about and how he does business. You know, his not give a fuck, and he is literally a fucking genius, dude. And he like kind of has a little bit of a stutter or whatever. You know, he like trips over his words when he talks on TV and shit. But when he's in the factory and he's talking engineering, dude, he is fucking sharp and he's on point. And just like when it comes to automation and manufacturing, his problem solving skills are just they're fucking alien, dude. It's insane.
You've met him before?
I met him, so I never like got to meet him like shake his hand, and be like, "Hello, Elon Musk, I'm Jordan." But there was a couple times where I was like 6 feet away from him while he's talking to a group of us about things that we're doing. And then one time I was eating a sandwich in the cafeteria and he walked by me, and I tried to like make eye contact with him, but he just was 1,000 yard gaze. I was gonna be like, "Oh hey," but I'm sure, dude. I'm sure that happens to him all the time. You know.
Yeah. Oh, hey. What are our sponsors today?
Oh, we still only have two sponsors. Shadestays.com. They keep your glasses on your hat. Check them out.
Mhm.
Oh, I have a box with. I should next time we podcast, I'll bring the box. I'll find the box so I can like show people the product. That would probably be smart. You
Yes.
know, when we first got our Shade Stay sponsor, we were still just an audio podcast. There wasn't any video. And then, swordandmind.com. If you want to learn how to shoot some guns in a tactical, advanced manner in the desert, if you're in the Phoenix area, go to swordandmind.com. My boy Ashton will hook you up with a badass experience.
My man.
Jip.
So, how do you feel about bidets?
Oh, dude, I need to get one. I don't know why I haven't yet. I actually had one in my one of my houses I lived in Guam. It was just already there.
Is it good shit?
Dude, it feels great on your asshole. And you like don't have to use hardly any toilet paper. And if
Does it
it's
clean your asshole very well?
dude, if you get one with some good pressure, like squirts kind of up your asshole and it'll like knock some more shit loose.
I mean, this is real shit. Like, you can get uncomfortable about talking about, poop talk or whatever. It's real as fuck.
Dude, I think a very common like cheap or I don't want to say cheap, but affordable bidet is this company called Tushy. Yeah, it's just literally a toilet seat. You can get the affordable one that's just a water that squirts up your asshole, or you can get this expensive one that is like heated. It shoots some nice warm heated water up your ass, and it feels. I've
Mm.
never had that kind before, but I hear it's amazing.
If they're ever watching, that could be our next sponsor.
That's that high roller shit, man.
I'm telling you, they sell kits. You could just put this little wand on the side of your it's like a shower head, but it's got pressure and it
Yeah.
hooks into the water line.
Oh, for
I'm
15
just
bucks
saying,
on
Jordan.
Amazon, you can get a little bottle with a fucking thing on it that you just put in water and you like put up your ass and just squeeze it.
That's for when I have young ladies over my house.
Ooh. Yeah, bidet. That's as soon as I get a real job again, that's on my list.
I'm actually um I've been seriously looking at houses in Virginia, in Hampton specifically.
Oh
I
yeah,
found a new construction for 215. Bro, I think that's the move. I just have to figure out what the Navy's doing with me, you know?
yeah. So your baby's mom and shit lives in Hampton Roads area, right?
Yeah, she lives not far from me.
And I thought you said your next duty station was gonna be South Carolina, though.
Probably not because of my shoulder.
Oh, do another sea tour.
I
Let's go
don't.
back to sea.
Shut the fuck up.
Let's go back to sea, bro.
Sh-
Let's get all
shut
your sea
your
tours out of the
fucking.
way right now.
Shut your mouth.
Get that fat reenlistment bonus. Let them
You know
pull you
what?
back
You know what
in.
I like? You know what I really like?
Penises, because you're gay.
Not well, if the shoe fits, 10 inches.
Oh,
Now, you know what I
jeez.
really like?
What's that?
Is not being out to sea.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think when I was in, I'd rather be out at sea just because, I can't do anything besides just be completely immersed in work, Whenever I was in that beautiful tropical paradise in Guam, I was just on the submarine all the time during the day, and I never got to enjoy it. I think that was an extra kick in the pants that these beautiful white sand beaches and these sexy young islander ladies were out there just waiting for me. But I just had to be on the
Yeah,
submarine.
specifically for you.
Oh yeah, for me, of course.
I mean, I'm waiting for you. You haven't come here in a while. Just saying.
Yeah, well,
Or I haven't gone out there too, which is a very fair statement.
I think I've visited you more than you have visited me.
Oh, you visited me for sure, 200% more.
No, I wouldn't
It's
be
the problem.
opposed
It's
to it. Dude, I fucking hate Virginia, man. That's old America. They have some cool little things here and there, but I like it out west. I'm a
I
cowboy.
mean, I'm a kind of guy that like I'm starting to appreciate like going on a cruise and like looking at like trees and shit, or like walking in like sketchy ass places and like taking pictures or like listening to music by myself. Like nothing's better than smoking a cigarette in nature.
I like being in nature. I hate smoking cigarettes. It's
Yeah,
fucking
smoking
gross.
cigarettes is bad.
It's fucking disgusting.
And you used to smoke.
I did. I
That's
smoked
good.
on
How'd
and
you
off
quit?
though. Like a pack would last me a week or two back when I was a smoker. But that was
Oh,
usually I didn't I didn't really I smoked a little bit before the Navy, but then that was just because I was like 19 and my friends I was hanging out with were like 25 and they smoked all the time, so I just wanted to be cool and smoke cigarettes. Smoking with cigarettes with my friends.
smoke with my hood rat friends. We do bad things because it's fun.
And then I quit for about a year, and then when I was in the Navy, it became a way. Like that was the only way you could get like a 10-minute break. Oh, hey, I got to smoke a cigarette, and you know, like all the chiefs fucking smoke, so they can't say no. I mean, well, they can, but yeah,
Yeah, man. I hate it because it fucks my cardio up, and I'm really trying to be about my fitness now.
yeah, man, me
Really
too.
trying to be about it. I'm tired. I'm so tired of not eating pizza and shit. Like I do eat shitty food, but it's so like if you saw what you have to put yourself through to get to where you want to go, like if you legitimately have a vision and you're like, okay, this is what I want to look like, or this is what I want to accomplish. For me, it's I want to be able to do this or that.
Yeah.
Like it's not a look anymore. I have to eat like a salad a day. I have to eat a bunch of eggs. I try to just drink water, no sugar drinks.
Oh
Like,
yeah, dude.
and I love pizza. Like, pizza's so good. I like ice cream, and I don't eat that shit. It's like, fuck, dude.
Dude,
Fuck, I
whenever
want
I
it so
go to the
bad.
grocery store, every time I walk in, I go walk through like all the baked goods, like the donuts and cookies and shit, and I walk by
Ugh.
the ice cream and just look at it and be like, I really want that, but I'm not gonna have it because I'm not a bitch. I literally talk down to myself like every time I go to the grocery store. Oh, you want that, don't you, you little piece of shit?
You do that?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, me neither.
And that's how I make myself work out. Like I get up in the morning, look in the mirror, like, man, you're looking skinny and fucking weak today, you piece of shit. Go fucking pick up a weight. Yeah. I pretty much like
I do
say
hype myself up. That's good though.
that's good negative shit. You know, whenever you're motivating
Yes.
yourself.
Stress is positive at times, for sure. I'm gonna go get food, man. I think it's time. I'm just like
Yeah, we had a. I think we had a
starving.
good little doodad here today.
Look, quit. Let's do it again very soon.
Yeah, man, we'll keep the Chronicles rolling here on Life in God's Pocket with me,
Life in
Jordan
God's pocket.
P. Gold, and you, Thomas Vargula Flair.
Now, what I want to do is a ceremonial blowing of the candles.
Okay. Okay, you
Are you
ready?
ready?
May everybody have a
All
bright
right.
and beautiful day and fuck the
Cheers to
coronavirus.
you, my friend. Fuck coronavirus. Cheers to you, and Godspeed, my friend. I'll talk to you soon.
Indeed.
Ready? Blow.